All right, Whitney, we are back with the other top 4 match of the Game Cafe Best of 1 Premier Challenge. Unfortunately, in Top Cut, you have to make your event best of 3, so we will get to see more games from our competitors here, but unfortunately, it won't be quite as best of 1-y as you may have remembered from our Swiss rounds.
Yeah, so I still maintain, if you can win a best of 3. So these players, yeah, they've got tricks up their sleeve, but probably they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. So hopefully they've got enough for, 2 or 3 interesting games.
Yeah. Drew's team, I think, is slightly more of a serious meme team. You've got things like, Water Spout, Blastoise, and Trick Room, and fun things with that. That's a bit more reserved than something like Blacephalon or Honedge, things of that sort. And Sam is similarly running a more conservative team from Sam. We see he has the Rain in Politoed and Ludicolo with Tapu Koko, Metagross and Ferrothorn as 2 Steel types and a Slowbro. So we'll see how Drew's team matches up against that as they get into their game 1. Sam sending the challenge with his Pikachu-themed attire, as Drew sends out his Whimsicott and Blastoise in comparison to the Politoed and Metagross from Sam's side. And I don't know about you, Whitney, but this nearly screams to me Tailwind Protect and Water Spout.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that as soon as I was like, I gotta give the matchup advantage to Drew. Just protect Blastoise, Tailwind, take the hit on Whimsicott of the Iron Heads, but then you're going to Water Spout in Rain all day. He could potentially fake Tears later with the Whimsicott, just really do some disruption, but I see almost no reason not to do that.
Interestingly enough, we see the Blastoise Mega Evolve before the Metagross. That, to me, indicates either a decently fast Blastoise or a decently slow Metagross, or potentially a combination of the two. The two are in similar speed tiers, but you actually see the Politoed Protect, and this just... oh no. We see a Bullet Punch into the Whimsicott, so if it did offer a Tailwind, then, well, apparently it didn't, because neither did it move first, nor did it survive the Bullet Punch. Nevertheless, a Water Spout comes out, and that is going to easily knock out the Mega Metagross in the Rain. I stand corrected!
So
wow!
That's really interesting to me, because it tells us, one, that whatever Drew was doing wasn't priority, and also, he doesn't have a Focus Sash on that Whimsicott, which is probably its most common item, so it almost makes you wonder if that's the Normalium Z Whimsicott.
For Z Nature Power? Yeah. I can imagine that.
I can believe that that's his play. So the Bullet Punch lands into the Protect of the Tapu Bulu. Water Spout comes out, and that will be enough to pick up the KO on this Metagross, and actually does pretty respectable damage to Politoed, despite being a resisted hit.
I'm still in shock that the Metagross was able to survive that rain-boosted Water Spout. What a strong hit.
I'm really surprised. But like you said, since the Blastoise Mega evolved first, Sam could have taken a much more defensive approach to his Metagross and just gave it a lot of HP.
Tapu Koko replaces the fallen Pokemon, and it reveals the Electric Seed, which will boost its defense. I was going to comment that Tapu Bulu, despite having its terrain removed, will still be able to threaten a knockout on Tapu Koko. But with that Electric Seed in play, I don't think that's an option anymore. With Tapu Koko now threatening the Blastoise, Tapu Bulu can threaten the Politoed, but this Tapu Koko is looking in a prime position to deal some damage.
Yeah, so this Blastoise definitely needs to, either protect or get out of there. And so we do see the Protect come out. I do wonder...
Thunder Punch! The Thunder Punch Tapu Koko comes out, as Woodhammer is going to knock out the Politoed from this range, but maybe I stand corrected. Maybe Sam was kind of baiting us
His
thinking that he
look
didn't
normal,
have
but his hits are anything but. So we do see the Life Orb recoil there, I think, unless I looked away and missed it. I have no idea what the damage into Tapu Koko is going to be without terrain. I know Tapu Bulu hits like a truck, but
yeah, this electric seed will certainly lessen the impact. The Blastoise, we did see from our first round on Swiss that the Blastoise does have Aura Spear, so it's not completely useless versus the Ferrothorn. So this Thunder Punch is going to do a hefty amount of damage, perhaps even picking up a 1-hit KO, but no, it fails to pick up a knockout, but instead gets a paralysis. The Wood Hammer comes out from Tapu Bulu, and that's going to do a sizable chunk to Tapu Koko, but what does the Blastoise go for? Does it get fully paralyzed? It is the Life Orb Tapu Bulu. It does get fully paralyzed! Oh no! The Ferrothorn follows up the turn with a Power Whip. So that will finish off the Blastoise, and I think Drew is probably breathing a sigh of relief that was a Power Whip into Blastoise, not a Gyro Ball into Tapu Bulu.
Absolutely. I'm a little surprised to see double targeting the Blastoise. I've never used Physical Koko, but I definitely would have just assumed that I would deal enough damage on a super effective hit in turn. So maybe he was trying to cover for a potential switch. A switch did seem like an obvious thing. Either way, though, he picked up the KO. So I guess at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do.
Heatran here is in a phenomenal position. Rain will eventually end. I'm not certain on the rain count, but yeah, this is the final turn of rain, assuming the Politoed was not holding the Damp Rock item. So if Tapu Bulu, it does opt to protect here. Let's see if Koko opts to attack the Tapu Bulu or goes after the Heatran. The Heatran just protects, likely here stalling out the final turn of rain so that his Heat Waves will be full powered. A Thunder Punch lands into the Heatran's protect, as Ferrothorn reveals why it didn't go for a Gyro Ball because it has Poison Jab instead into the Tapu Bulu. And wow, this is some interesting sets from Sam. But this Heatran is looking to clean up about no matter what, unless another Thunder Punch full paralysis happens.
So Tapu Koko goes for the protect. Maybe banking on a just a Heat Wave miss, play to your outs if you can KO the Bulu, but Heat Wave connects, picks up the KO on Ferrothorn quite easily. So that's leaving Koko in a pretty tough spot, because I don't think it can out-damage these two Pokemon.
Yeah, Tapu Bulu will definitely live a Thunder Punch from Tapu Koko at this range and terrain. But
will it
live in acrobatics?
Acrobatics? Because I don't think so.
Well, the acrobatics does successfully knock out Tapu Bulu.
This Earth Power will be enough to pick up the KO.
Yeah. I bet Drew is breathing a sigh of relief there. Some unusual sets coming out from Sam, but I think some more conventional sets from Drew on these Pokemon. There wasn't anything too obscure here. He has a very interesting team. Besides the Whimsicott that didn't go for a priority move and or was slower than Metagross. It's possible. Do you think this Whimsicott could have been going for Trick Room and it just doesn't have a Focus Sash?
That is a possibility. I guess given the Scrafty, the Heatran, it does kind of lend itself to being, you can function in Trick Room or in Tailwind. Blastoise is middle speed, Heatran is kind of middle speed, so Drew just kind of needs, if he was going for that Trick Room, just pick which speed control you want. If he's got that option on the Whimsicott, pick which speed control you want, and then, go from there. So Sam, walked in really quickly.
Yeah. What adjustment I'd like to see from Sam is using his Ferrothorn in the mid-game more effectively, being able to switch it in. It's not going to appreciate rain-boosted water spouts, but it will prefer it compared to his other Pokemon. Potentially not even setting the rain immediately, and instead using Ferrothorn to start off with to pressure that Blastoise. But we see the same lead from him. We see the Politoed and the Metagross up against Drew's, again, Whimsicott and Blastoise.
So I'm a little surprised to see the Politoed again, because it didn't seem to contribute a whole lot in Sam's favor last game. It just set up Drew's Blastoise to fire off stronger water spouts. So I was kind of anticipating either stick to the rain mode hard and go ahead and bring out that Ludicolo, or maybe just not bring the Politoed.
We do see Politoed switch out here for the Ferrothorn, so he is conserving that Pokemon itself a little bit better. But nevertheless, we see the Metagross actually Mega Evolve first this time, so this is either potentially a speed tie between Metagross and Blastoise, or he didn't opt to Mega Evolve, which would be very interesting. But he does opt to Mega Evolve, which means that the Metagross and Blastoise speed tie pre-Mega. Not that that's especially important for the state of the game, because Metagross's increased speed applies automatically, but still an interesting thing to note. Bullet Punch again is targeted at the Whimsicott, but this time it survives with a lot of HP.
It must have been a critical hit last game. We may have missed it.
Or like the craziest set of damage rolls ever. But this time
we find out that Metagross actually is faster than the Whimsicott, because we did see the Tailwind come out. So
unless this isn't prankster on Whimsicott, but you've got to imagine that it would be.
I'm really not sure what, like, he has nothing. I believe his other ability is Chlorophyll. Like, he's got nothing to take advantage of that with.
Well, or perhaps he just messed up while he was.
It could have been if he bred the wrong one on accident.
But in any case, if this Whimsicott has Fake Tears, a Fake Tears and a Water Spout will certainly knock out Ferrothorn from this range.
Finish off this Ferrothorn.
Yeah, but instead he makes a conservative play, recalling the Whimsicott for Heatran. I like that play because you still Water Spout, you still do a lot of damage. The Metagross is going to use Bullet Punch, attempting to knock out the Whimsicott, but Heatran is in its place. And now we do not see a Water Spout, but instead an Aura Sphere into Ferrothorn. Will this be enough to knock it out? It is, thanks to Mega Blastoise's Mega Launcher ability, increasing the damage of those pulse moves. So a great turn for Drew. He's in a very strong position, having knocked out the Ferrothorn, one of Sam's best answers to this Mega Blastoise, I think.
Yeah, so now this Tapu Koko, its defense is going to be raised, but that's not rain-boosted Water Spout. And to have to deal with a Earth Power from Heatran after that, I'm not sure what Sam's game plan here is to get out of this spot. Like, he needs to stall out the Trick Room turns to regain the speed advantage, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this Water Spout is certainly going to deal enormous damage to Tapu Koko. I think there is the potential for a Trick Room mode, so I was going to comment perhaps the Heatran does not outspeed the Tapu Koko, but no, it does. An Earth Power knocks out Tapu Koko in one hit, showing the strength of Heatran, and Blastoise follows suit with its Water Spout, easily knocking out the Metagross from its 10 to 15% HP that it had left. And Drew is looking in a commanding position to 4-0 this game. Poor Sam.
Yeah, so we're going to see Politoed come out, you know, Politoed versus 4. Yeah, it's going to be taking resisted damage from both of these Pokemon, but they're just firing off such strong attacks that Politoed's not really standing a huge chance, I don't think.
Yeah. Earth Power comes out and does non-negligible damage to that Politoed, actually. Water Spout is going to deal a heaping amount of damage to Politoed, though. It does not knock it out, and it also triggers a berry, so the Politoed will have some more HP to hang on longer with its Weaky Berry. Scald comes out, that's going to hit. Yeah, let's see if that knocks out the Heatran. It fails to pick up the knockout, so the following turn, unless this Politoed has a bunch of speed, Earth Power plus Water Spout will knock out this Politoed, and Drew will move on to the finals.
Yeah, so the Heatran is faster, is going to be able to pick up the KO. Politoed's not going to take those 2 attacks again, even with the health regain from the berry that it just ate. And so Drew takes a really commanding victory here, you know, using the rain to his own advantage. And so we're going to see him playing against John Masters in just a minute.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting. And then good to Sam. He was was he the undefeated coming into this? I can't recall. It was either he or... No, I think it was... Yeah, it was him who was undefeated, because Drew had about the worst resistance in the planet. He had 31% resistance. Holy moly.
Yeah, so...
You can't get much worse than that.
I mean, great showing from Sam today, coming out here and undefeated in Swiss. He's leaving with some form of championship points, right? Or is it only for top 2 here?
Nope, he will be receiving championship points. All top 4 players will receive it. So
excellent.
That's good for him.
He left the tournament with some championship points. That's not a bad result at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be taking a short break, and then we'll have the finals of the Game Cafe Premier Challenge with Drew Nowak versus John Masters. So we've got Mega Blastoise versus Mono Ghost. You'll want to stay tuned.
I'm really excited for this game. Don't go anywhere, guys.